Part 2, alright? I'm not going to do a big intro. Part 2 also, well, it was because my camera cut off. The features that they actually have announced for this thing don't make sense. I don't know, just in case I'm not retreading here. You got features that are going to be cut. They've always done this, right? So, what's one thing that they introduced 2 years ago? The 3D TV at E3. Oh, look at that. You gotta have a 3D TV now. You gotta have a 3D TV. What's the PS4 not do? Fucking 3D. Thanks a lot, Sony. Thanks a fucking lot for nothing. You get people on board to go buy your pieces of shit system so they can play fucking Killzone 3D, and then here comes the PS4. Oh, it doesn't do that. But it does 4K. So that, again, the fucking moron that invented Facebook can go afford the $25,000 to $30,000 TV, even though normal humans cannot afford this kind of shit. But yet you're still gonna play to that fucking thing? Again, Sony, over-delivering, underperforming. Over-delivering, underperforming. I don't mean delivering like on what the actual product is. I mean over-delivering on their actual fucking speeches. I mean, Christ, did you guys hear that? It sounded like, who was their speechwriter? Like Dennis Miller? It was so clouded with just massive big words. I mean, it was like euphemisms and just ecosystem this and ecosystem that. I mean, but it was almost like they just wanted to say a bunch of shit that was so fucking confusing to you. You're like, okay, what are you guys talking about? Like, is that good? And yeah, okay. That's something you do, like speechwriters in politics, anything, when you don't actually have anything to really prove like that you're actually going to be doing something. So you just a bunch of spin. You just create a bunch of spin. And that's what they were doing. They're like, oh, we're going to be able to come up with, what was the word? I can't remember the actual phrase. It was just so out of place talking about the realm of video games. Just completely out of place. Didn't make sense. Way too highbrow for audiences to really understand, and I think that's part of the reason why some of the Sony fags liked it so much, is the fact that they're just like, it sounds smart, these guys know stuff, and you're like, no, dumbass, they don't know anything. What they know is they went to Harvard or some other fucking business degree school, they got it, they got their fucking rich-ass fucking job, they don't give a fuck about video games, they don't know nothing. And the thing is, all they do is try to spin it like that. That's the truth. And you're gonna see more of that shit at E3. Where like Nintendo's gonna be like, here's Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, and Microsoft's probably gonna fucking show whatever they're gonna show, and those are actually gonna be real content. And then someone's gonna be like, as you know, the PlayStation family brand ecosystem is infinitesimally more big, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get to the point. Get to the fucking point. And the thing is, Sony doesn't have one. They don't. They didn't in the first place. That's why the PS4 is coming out. Why would you even make a product this archaically, badly designed? Not finished specs, but you got a spec sheet. Just same controller as the PS3, but you can't use the PS3 controller. Ugh. 3D, you pushed for everything just because you were jealous of Nintendo. You just retreated on it. But at the same time, you're going to have Move support? Folks, I'm pretty sure I don't have all the numbers in, but I can say this. It's a hell of a lot easier to support 3D gaming than it is with the fucking Move controller. God knows they didn't show shit for games that were coming out for it anyways. Like, where's your big PS4 Move controller game to actually mean that that was important to include that and not just like, yeah, we failed. But yet they're still doing the Kinect thing. I mean, they're just all fucking over the place when it comes to that PS4. All over the place. Just like Sega was with all of their fucking products. Hence the name of the fucking video. That's what they kind of did. All they did was they kept coming up with new things that were badly supported. I mean, look at PSP. Shit. PSP Go. Shit. Vita. Shit. Where's the fucking announcement for that? That's what needs help. It's not the PS3. PS3s are just barely now starting to sell, and then it's like all the games that they have coming out, supposedly all the games, that they didn't get out all last year at all, but they got, they're getting God of War, and you're getting fucking Last of Us. It's like, apparently Last of Us really means The Last of Us as in games. Because these are the kind of games that it's like, well, what are you going to actually play on your PS4? Because you can't actually play these PS3 games. Unless they resell it to you in a dumb fucking collection. Don't worry, guys. The Uncharted collection will be there for your little Blu-ray player for your PS4. So you dumb fucks can buy all the games over again. Again, games are like 2, 3, 4 years old. They're like, I better buy the collection. It's what Sony does. I'm stupid. Apparently that's why you buy it. But that's what they're going with, and that's pathetic. because the games they have, you know, like, I'll put it this way. I've said this before. This is why, another reason, particularly PS4 is really screwed. People buy Nintendo consoles to play Nintendo games. People even buy Microsoft's consoles to play Microsoft's games. You know, Halo, blah, blah, blah. What do people actually play for Sony games? I mean, honestly, some fucking idiot on the other side of the screen, and she's going to be like typing up going, "You're wrong, Uncharted and God of Wars and Beyonds," and you're like, no, those aren't fucking series that people play. Fuck, they were just invented practically, like, what, 4 years ago or less, or 5? I mean, these are not really even franchises that you actually would use. So, I'll put it like this. Fact is, they don't have a dog in the fight. They do not have something that is going to make people go from this small little sector into this and this and this and this. They're not going to get there. They're not going to get back their market share. They're not going to get back anything. Ultimately, I've said this before, and again, they're releasing this thing based on pride, not practicality. And I predicted it, and it is going to be their last console. I mean, like I said, I'm drinking fucking champagne already. It's like, This isn't champagne, I'm just trying to. But I am going to be drinking champagne pretty soon here because I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm not. But I actually will be celebrating the fact that I know they're out of the industry. It's just that the world doesn't know it yet. But it's going to actually happen. It's going to shock the world. Sony pulls out. Well, duh. It's like, okay, going into this cutthroat generation, and it's cutthroat, folks, you cannot afford to fuck up. Look at all the companies that have been folding. THQ, Junction Point. Visceral's got laid off. I'm not going to go down the list. You know what I'm talking about. Sony, I'll put it this way. You need to actually have something that is so good, hardware-wise, as a hardware developer and provider, that is going to be a justifiable reason, not fanboys, justifiable reason to actually have 3 console makers in this next generation. And yeah, I haven't seen Microsoft, but you know what? All it's going to take from them, backwards compatibility, transfer your Xbox Live save, play some, 360 games. That's about it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Because let's face it, out of the 2 HD twins, Sony and Microsoft, all the dude bros do play on 360. It's a fact of life. There's not going to be much room for those guys to change. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that a lot of those people are either going towards the Wii U, or they're going to stay with Microsoft. That's kind of where it's at. Sony doesn't have anything, because, like, at least Nintendo's going to have Mario and, yeah, etc., etc. Halo's going to be out for the 360, kind of, or the 720, or whatever you want to call it. Sony, what are you going to tell them? I mean, like, we've got Ratchet. It's just like, yeah, go Ratchet that shit up your ass, dude. I don't care. That's shit that's dead. No one cares. And they're not innovative enough, smart enough, creative enough. Despite the fact that they kept saying we have the creativity and imagination, which is really ironic, to actually come up with a good enough game. I mean, they're not going to have a breakout hit. They're not making fucking Angry Birds. There's not going to be like this magical title for Sony. They never have had that. Ever. It's always been third parties. That's why dumbass All-Stars game was shit. For that reason, they had no mascots worth playing. And the other fact is, all the ones people did want to play as, they couldn't get them. They couldn't fucking get them. So, their back pretty much is to the wall at this point. I'm just going to enjoy watching E3, watching Microsoft steal the thunder when they probably show their 720. Nintendo show all the games. And then Sony, while they just go like this and talk a bunch of shit. And they're going to be talking themselves right out of the fucking industry. So, again, be prepared. I warned you already. It's pretty much funny. I mean, it's going to be a complete fucking disaster. This year E3 for Sony. Can't wait, actually. It's going to be fun. But I'll be back again with some more videos later. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.